Hi, my name's Randy Bishop, and I'm the Director of Senior Center Services for Neptune Township. And it's a pleasure to join you and talk to you a little bit about what senior centers are about. You know, we all look forward to the golden age, the years that we've waited for and worked for all of our lives. But once the cake is gone and the goodbyes are said, some of the same concerns still remain, and some new ones come as well. A lot of research has been done on what seniors feel and what seniors are concerned about. And consistently, there are top 10 concerns. And these concerns pervade all of the things throughout the senior's life, or the older American as they work. Of course, the first one is health, the known and the unknown, for yourself and for those close to you. The second are relationships, maintaining them, creating them, or finding ways to adapt them as you lose your mobility and sometimes as you lose your sense of purpose. The other is community. Look, we all have been involved in our communities. We've all been there, we've all worked for organizations. But what happens when it's a little harder to get around? Or the things that you've done, you can't do anymore? And look, one of my favorite topics, food. Our tastes change as we get older, and also it becomes a little more difficult if you stop cooking for someone else and it's now just you. It's a little harder to sit down to that table and make yourself a great meal. The loss of friends or partners, that's a very important part of any meal. So how do you combat that? Routines. Let's be honest, we're driven by calendars, and today with our cell phones, we're driven by clocks and rings. But the routine changes when you get older, and sometimes that can really have a bearing on your self-worth. Speaking of that, there's respect. As we age, oftentimes we feel less visible as opposed to more engaged, and we feel that maybe people don't value our opinions or our input the way that they once did. And physical activity, something that's extremely, extremely important, becomes a little harder. Those bones creak. But it's so important not only for your health, your body's health, but for your mental health, to make sure that you stay physically active. And comfort. You know, a sense of a place of being, of having yourself, is something that's critical. Look, Linus in Charles Schulz's old Peanuts cartoon, he had his blanket, and we somehow all carry our own blankets with us. There's independence. No one wants to feel that they've become a burden to someone else, but yet they feel their world is sort of closing in on them. And the final one is probably the biggest one that goes through all of these, which is financial stability. The age-old concern, will I outlive my money? Well, there are things that you can do to help yourself, but where do you go? The best laid plans that you have are going to be interrupted. And maybe those golden years are going to seem like they're a little more tarnished brass, but we can work on that. Years gone by, the kitchen table with your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, were where you solved all the issues of the world. And when you were a senior, you went to them to ask them exactly who should I talk to? How do I do this? That's still important. It's that one-on-one connection, but now there's some other place that you can go for help as well. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson, as part of his Great Society, he signed the Older Americans Act. And he explained it, I think, better than anyone when he said, the Older Americans Act of 1965 reaffirmed a nation's sense of responsibility and respect for the dignity of age. For the first time, states and communities in true hometown effort were able to plan and develop special programs to enrich individuals' later years. The role of a senior center is that hometown portion. So with the stroke of his pen, President Johnson started a new way of looking at how to find those services. Maybe grandmother's kitchen table got a little bigger. While it really is for all seniors, one of the things that the president wanted everyone to know that there was a special place for those who had low income or those who had specific challenges. But that doesn't mean everyone's not welcome at that table. Senior centers have worked to push down that one-on-one, that caring, down to your neighborhood. Today, what does it mean to be a retired senior, to be a caregiver, to be a person that's trying to figure out exactly where do I go? How do I approach those golden years? Well, welcome to your senior center. First off, I want to get rid of the misconception. It's not bingo. Okay, it's there, but it's not just bingo. In the light of the act, I just briefly want to talk to you about those 10 different areas of concern and how a senior center plays in. Health. While not a provider, it's a resource. It's to help you gain knowledge about insurance and about changes in programs, how to sign up for Medicare. Do I qualify for Medicaid? Counselors for programs help you to look at those and make a decision based on your need, not on a sales provider. We can also arrange transportation for medical appointments, to get a prescription, as your ability to actually be a part of that, to actually drive, may become less and less. Centers can help you understand the paperwork when filling it out. They can also help you locate resources if they don't have the answers. Health screenings are an incredible part of a senior center. Ask a nurse. Now, while they're not going to diagnose you, they can answer questions about your medication. They also can help give you questions to ask your physician should you have a concern. Recently, during the pandemic, senior centers became a huge part of how to find that vaccination, where to go, by working with the Monmouth County Office on Aging, by working with hospitals, by working with local providers to get slots for people. Centers speak to customers daily. We're a set of eyes to help you understand if things are changing, to see if things are okay. And with your direction, we may reach out to your emergency contact or talk to you about something that you may want to look into. Now, the second we talked about was relationships, and relationships are a part of what make us who we are. A senior center gives you the chance not only to see old friends, but to make new ones. And we talked about community. How many of us have been involved in a number of organizations? Well, guess what? It doesn't have to end because you age. Senior centers have a multitude of things that you can be involved in. Delivering meals, helping in the kitchen. You can also work with outside organizations, food banks. And one of my favorites is reading books to young children. There's something about making that intergenerational connection that's so very important. So let's say you don't see something you're interested in, talk to a staff member. Take it upon yourself to say, I have an idea, and then let's put it together and let's see how it works. Food. So a primary driver of the Older Americans Act was, in fact, meals. A hot or cold nutritious meal served once a day. Meal preparation often seems a chore in later life, but coming to a center for a congregate meal setting, there are all sorts of people and things to do and see and talk about. For the homebounds, the centers act as their lifeline to one meal a day, and again, that set of eyes to talk to them and see them, just to make sure everything's okay. Many centers do have an emergency food pantry. Life throws us curveballs. So with that emergency food pantry, they can help you out if you need just a little bit of a bridge. We also work with people like Fulfill, who help us to make sure that people are not having to make the choice of, do I eat or do I get my prescription? Routine. Look, most of us like structure. A senior center gives you a class to look forward to, gives you something that you can plan with and plan on. And that helps you, that helps all of us, in terms of how you structure your life. so that you don't get lost in time, but you actually take control of your time. Respect. One of the many aspects of health, physical and mental, is your self-esteem. Centers should be and are a place to renew that belief in yourself through being a part of a class, through being someone who takes an art class, through doing an exercise course or listening to a presentation and asking your questions. The center can't give you self-esteem, but it can help you get back on track. It can help you get your footing with resources. And it'll help you fight that adage, I don't want to be a burden. So physical activity, look, age means we may not be as spry as we once were, but centers offer a variety of fitness programs. They're geared to your comfort and your level of ability. There's a wide variety from yoga to dance, meditation, you name it. Things that will help you in your both mental and physical life. We need to focus on strengthening our bodies, but also strengthening and keeping our minds sharp. Programs like meals and fitness are donation-based, based on what and if you can give. You won't be turned away because you don't have the means. Again, President Johnson was very clear when he told us that that is something we need to be very well aware of. Comfort. We all want a place to call home. It surprises me often how many seniors refer to the centers as their second home. And it's wonderful because there they have friendships, there they have places to be and to go and to talk to. You can be who you are, and with that, you can be in a place that you feel safe and a place to go if you don't. Independence. The loss of control is probably one of the most frightening things people face. You know, people mean well when they tell you that this is what you should do or this is how you should act, but let me tell you something. Independence is a mark of who we are. Now, I don't mean to be stubborn, but I do mean that use the center as a resource to help you make informed decisions and involve your family members and your caregivers in those decisions so that it becomes something you all can live with and agree to. There are seminars on a variety of topics, from eating well to how to do new things, be it gardening in a different way. The goal of the Older Americans Act and of every senior center is to have you age with dignity and keeping the independence that you want as long as you're safe. There are programs that may help you remain in your home, but also sometimes you need to understand that it's time to move on. Centers can help give you information and working with our partners to help you make those decisions. And again, the final one is financial security. Centers work with our government agencies and actually with a number of other agencies that are not-for-profits to help you find programs that may help you with your rent, may help you with your utility bills. They also look for programs that could help you plan on downsizing. Those are decisions you want to make when you are thinking about it and not when you have to. There are rebate programs for property taxes and rents, and you know what we hear so many times is those are so confusing to fill out that paperwork. We're there to help you. Your center is there to act as that resource for you. There's also free legal services. Now, they can't take you to court and defend you, but they can answer your questions. They can actually help you with wills and powers of attorney. They can explain the differences and what would work best for you. So that's great for people who are members of the center, but what about those caregivers? All of those very same things are open to you in terms of planning and understanding and resources. We want to be there for all the caregivers and the family members so that they know they have someone they can go to and ask a question and get answers and get direction. even programs that may pay you to be a caregiver for a family member. So look at those and know that we're out there to help you. The other thing that I'm going to stress is look for help as you begin to plan on retiring, or as you look at those different life changes that are coming your way. When you do that, you will certainly be able to make better, stronger, sounder decisions that will help you. And the senior centers are there to be there for you in that planning, with publications, with websites, with seminars. Now, the future and nature of senior centers is changing. There's no question about that. Need is greater now than ever. COVID brought to us very different ways to look at and to deliver services. Everything from Zoom and other types of platforms to things like Get Set Up, a new program by the state of New Jersey to help you remain together and to help you remain engaged, utilizing a free set of programming that is set up by the state. Valued partners such as the Monmouth County Office on Aging, Veterans and Disabilities is an extremely important part of all that we do. But challenges of cultural and also of language face centers. We're facing them, but we will find the solution so that we can help you. So while delivery for programs may be different, really what was envisioned in 1965 is no different today than it was then. To paraphrase a comedian and director, Amy Poehler, wherever you find a group of people who challenge and inspire you, spend a lot of time with them. It will change your life. So now let's talk about the rest of my topic. I'm sorry, what? Guys, they just told me that lunch is ready. And there's a great presentation on fresh produce and how important it is to your body and to your health. So I don't want to miss it. You know what? Why don't you stop by the center? We can see the program, we can have a bite to eat, and we can keep going with a conversation and meet some new friends. By the way, transportation is so important. If you need a ride, give us a call. So thanks, take care, and we look forward to seeing you at the senior centers very soon. I'm Randy Bishop, Neptune Township, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of your day.